Good evening. Win Theory Book, Chapter number 6, Episode 200. Author and YouTuber Ahmed Gaber Abdelhamid. Animation and cartoon movies build a part of the child's subconscious. A. Child ability. Learning in the childhood stage is more rigid. Make the information more rigid in the subconscious. Maybe it is difficult to transfer the information to the child, but once he receives the information, it will become more rigid inside his subconscious. A child ability. The child like the white paper. We can write anything. Even if we find written paper, if we remove all the written words inside this paper will not return white as before, but the child is already white paper. He has no many of knowledges or doctrines. This make him has an ability to receive data very high. Also, the ability for forming is very high. He can imagine with the less subconscious limits. Once the subconscious information or doctrines occupy inside the brain, the mindset, your images have borders, subconscious borders. You cannot go outside these borders of imagination. But the child has no doctrines, so the sky is the limit. Imagination for no limits. Also, the ability for forming is very high. He can imagine with less subconscious limits. I will give a combined example. It is like a father walk with his son in the garden. Father took his son in a journey inside garden. They saw a big tree grown inside the garden, but the tree is very sloped. Then the son asked his father why they didn't correct this tree to be straight. Why? Then the father said this tree has a very long roots underground. So difficult, not easy. Because it is a very big tree. They could correct it when it was very small. If the tree from maybe 10 years, 15 years was very small, they can correct But after 15 years, 3 cannot. But if we try to correct it at the older ages, it would be impossible. Also, the father continue. The father capture this subject to project it in another example. Also, the moral, like the tree, like this tree. If we correct it at the small ages, it is very easy, moral. But if we try to correct it at the older ages, it will be impossible. This is what I want to say. Cartoon animation is very important to inject the morals, the doctrines inside the subconscious of the children. So the subconscious is like the roots of the tree. Most of it made in the childhood age. The child has a big ability for imagine, but a small ability for understanding. So we use the cartoon animation to deliver the messages by images. So we can draw the child behavior through the cartoon, not by what is talking in the cartoon, but through what he is watching by his eyes. Eyes will catch the morals. But if we try to correct it at the older ages, what will you pull these eyes to follow? Changing the morals by moral eye image attraction. Let him look to the child who pull his friend from the ground to stand up. Image is talking. His friend pull his friend to stand up. Support his friend. This movement, this image will make effect inside his subconscious. And so on. Thank you. See you tomorrow.